It seemed a wild thing to do, lie out in lion country, waiting to be attacked by a man-eater. But Hal was not wild. He was a steady 19-year-old, 6 feet tall, with the strength and brains of a man. He had thought it over carefully. This had seemed the best way to go at it. His brother, 13-year-old Roger, agreed, not because he was a heavy thinker. He wasn't, but it sounded like an exciting adventure. So now, they lay on the ground within a circle of piled-up thorn bushes. In Africa, they call it a boma. It's supposed to protect you against wild beasts. Roger didn't feel very well protected. "It's only 5 feet high," he whispered. "A lion could easily jump over it." "But he won't," replied Hal. "Not unless he's a real man-eater. Most lions leave you alone. If you leave them alone, then why have a boma at all? Why not just sit out in the open? You'd be inviting trouble if you did that. Suppose a lion's or leopard or rhino or elephant or most any animal stumbled on you in the dark. He'd be surprised. He'd probably take a swipe at you in self-defense. One swipe would be enough, but all animals hate thorns. If they touch this boma, they'll veer off. At least, I hope they will. Except a man-eater. Yes, except a man-eater. We've got the welcome mat out for him. If he gets our scent, he's pretty sure to pay us a visit." "And you'd like that," Roger said, with a sort of shiver in his voice. "Sure, I'd like that. That's what we're here for." "What's the matter, kid? Scared?" "Not on your life," protested Rover. "Just cold." Hal and Roger had come to Africa, not to kill animals, but to take them alive. They had been trained by their father, John Hunt, famous collector, in the difficult art of capturing living animals and shipping them to zoo and circuses. It had been a strange day. It began with 5 murders. 5 men repairing tracks on the Nairobi-Mombasa Railway near the village of Tsavo were killed and eaten by lions. The lions of the Tsavo region had always a bad reputation. Years ago, when the railway was first being laid, newspapers the world over told the grim story of the man-eater of Tsavo, who were killing and devouring railway workers by the score. Now, these lions or their descendants were at it again. The boys, already well known for their success in taking animals, were asked to help find the killers. This was no easy job. How were they to know which lions were a man-eater and which were innocent? The innocent must be saved, for they are one of the great sights of Africa. Visitors come from all over the world to see the African lions. Africa is their last home. Long ago, there were lions in many lands: Europe, Arabia, Palestine, India. As men multiplied, lions were killed off. And now Africa is the last stand of the king of beasts. It would be a pity to let this most majestic of animals become extinct. But how save the good lions and yet get rid of the bad actors? You could not simply go out with a gun and kill all lions. You must have a way of discovering which were man-eaters and which were not. Hal had found a way. He would offer the lions 2 kinds of bait. One was animal, the other human. The animal was a dead goat, and it lay in the clearing 10 yards in front of the boma. The human bait was the boys themselves. An approaching lion could smell both the goat and boys. If it preferred to eat the goat, it was not a man-eater. But if it turned up its nose at the goat and attacked the boma, it was a man-eater. Roger didn't like the idea of being set out as dinner for a lion. "Beside, it won't work," he said. "Suppose the lion eats the goat. That doesn't prove he isn't a man-eater." "Yes, it does," insisted Hal. "A real man-eater won't touch an animal so long as it has a chance to eat human flesh. Why? Are we so delicious?" "The lion thinks so. Once he has dined on a human, he's not satisfied with animal meat. Scientists say the reason is that human flesh is salty and tender. A man's muscles are soft compared with those of an antelope. That has to keep jumping all day, every day to make a living. And a man's hide is not tough, and there is no fur or feathers or sharp quills to get stuck in His Majesty's jaws. Anyhow, there's no danger. We have our 30 safari men to protect us." It hadn't quite worked out that way. When Tonga, the station master who had reported the death of 5 workers, took the boys to the Tsavo district officer, That black giant said sorely. No, 30 men. Just you two. But how can we do the job alone? That is your problem, oh men. Would you give us a reason? The officer glared. Why should I give you a reason? I was a chief, and my father and grandfather were chiefs. My people called me King Ku. I am still King Ku. Aang gives no reason. You are not a king, Hal reminded him. You are a district officer responsible to the people of Kenya. King Ku leaped to his feet. I should have you flogged. You whites should remember that Kenya is a black man's country now. We owe no reason to whites. He waved his fly whisk, symbol of a chief's authority. All right, I'll give you a reason. Your crew would kill many lions, bad ones and good ones. We can't have that, so you must act alone. Hal said no more. Later he said to Roger, I wonder what his real reason is. Why is he so down on whites? Almost seems as if he wants to get us killed.